Welcome to the B32 Vancouver Mix Bus video manual. The B32 Vancouver is a 32-channel mix bus featuring Burl Audio's renowned discrete analog and Class A circuitry. The B32 mix bus employs both the transparency of the B26 Orca and the switchable tonality of our proprietary Burl Audio BX5 output transformers. In addition to the BX5, the B32 Vancouver introduces a new concept to the summing amplifier, gain boost. Gain boost works in conjunction with the BX5 transformer, which gives a sound similar to half-inch tape, eliminating the need for a 2-track tape machine for your mix. Much like analog tape, you can use gain boost in conjunction with the BX5 output transformer in place of compression and limiting. As such, the B32 can be very versatile. In the box. In the box, you will find your new B32 Vancouver, an IEC power cable, 4 rack screws and washers, along with this manual. B32 Vancouver features. Now I'd like to take you through the features of the B32 Vancouver. The B32 features 32 inputs with 8 mono and 24 stereo inputs, audiophile 0.1% resistor match step attenuators, 2 switchable proprietary 1-to-1 nickel wound output transformers, and summing amp gain boost. Like all Burl Audio products, the B32 Vancouver Mix Bus uses all Class A analog circuitry, an all discrete transistor signal path, and no capacitors in the signal path. The B32 is direct coupled and uses the same proprietary op-amp technology as the BDA8 output cards for the B80 mothership. Lastly, the B32 has a 110 or 220 volt selectable power supply. Now let's take a look at the B32 Vancouver Quick Start. First, unpack the unit and make sure the voltage setting is correct for your region. Check to see if the unit is set to 115 volts or 230 volts by looking through the vent holes in the lid as shown here. To change voltage if needed, remove all of the screws from the lid. Locate the voltage switch, which is here. Then adjust the voltage switch to 115 volts or 230 volts. Once that's done, replace the lid and screws and install the unit into your rack. Once the B32 is in the rack, plug the unit into AC mains power, turn on the power switch on the front panel, and verify that the blue power LED is illuminated. Next, we're going to connect the outputs of your DA converters to the DB25 inputs on the rear of the B32. Then connect the XLR outputs of the B32. Here is an example of proper routing. B32 Vancouver front panel controls. Now let's take a look at the front panel of the B32 Vancouver Mix Bus. The B32 has a very simple design with just a few controls. The first feature we will cover is the BX5 switch. This switch engages our proprietary BX5 output transformer. The BX5 is a 1-to-1 nickel core output transformer with incredible clarity, which also adds smoothness, saturation, fatness, and glue. The 6 dB gain switch adds gain into the summing amplifier. The B32 utilizes the same op-amps as the BDA8 mothership output cards, our proprietary B-Op-A2s. Adding 6 dB to your mix adds tone, similar to gaining up a mic pre. The plus 6 dB switch increases harmonic content. In all honesty, the B32 has mostly replaced our Studer and Ampex 2-track tape machines. We find it adds all the glue we need while maintaining the clarity and low-end response we love. The B32 uses 24-step audiophile 0.1% resistor match stepped attenuators for left and right output. Now you can have confidence that your stereo image is spot on at every level. The tri-colored gain LED indicates gain through the summing amplifier. It's really hard to actually clip the B32 since it has tremendous headroom and sounds great when you hit it really hard, depending on the material. Don't be afraid to experiment with level hitting the unit hard. Lastly, the power LED will illuminate a blue light when the unit is powered on. B32 Vancouver rear panel. Now that we've looked at the front of the unit, let's take a look at the rear of the B32 Vancouver. First we have the IEC inlet. This inlet contains an active fuse plus 1 extra. These fuses are slow blow, 250 volts AC, 250 milliamps, and 5 by 20 millimeter dimension. To the right of the power inlet, we have our 2 mix outputs. Both Mix 1 and Mix 2 are identical mults on the PCB. Both mix outputs are balanced male XLR outputs with pin 1 ground, pin 2 hot, and pin 3 cold. All 32 inputs on the B32 are D-sub DB25 Tascam style connectors. Channels 1 through 8 are mono pan center. Channels 9 through 16, 17 through 24, and 25 through 32 are all stereo pairs, with odd channels being panned hard left and even channels panned hard right. With channels 1 through 8, you can use analog hardware processing with one channel panned in the center. This is commonly used for lead vocals, bass guitar, bass drum, and snare. For panning, set a track's output to stereo pair 9 and 10, for example, and pan from within the DAW. Note: we recommend connecting Mix 1 directly to your monitor controller using high-quality XLR cables. Connect Mix 2 and all inputs to a patch bay. This allows for quick and flexible routing. We also recommend starting with the attenuators at 0, BX5 and +6 disengaged to listen to your mix with the unit normalized. Now start to experiment to find the sweet spot. Try adding the BX5 output transformers, then add the +6 dB gain and attenuate the B32 down 6 dB on each side. Note: when mixing back into a Burl B2 Bomber or a B80 mothership, experiment with the output level of the B32 to saturate the input transformers to taste. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, please visit burlaudio.com or email info@burlaudio.com. Have fun and keep rocking.